A frantic push to the front of the line. Every refugee here desperate to receive their official aid registration card. Each one recently arrived in Cox's Bazar, the world's largest refugee camp, heavily reliant on foreign donors, now suffering after the sudden loss of funding from USAID. These refugees have joined more than 1 million others from Myanmar's persecuted Muslim minority, the Rohingya, escaping here after a military crackdown that the United Nations has called a textbook case of ethnic cleansing. Sheltering in a massive tent city in neighboring Bangladesh, entrenched since 2017. A camp heaving under the strain of so many, and the added stress of waning foreign funds. Crucial aid like vaccinations to stave off rampant illness in the camp is intact, exempt from a recent executive order signed by U.S. President Donald Trump, suspending American foreign aid for 3 months. Food distribution, considered emergency funding, is also safe for now. But other vital assistance has simply vanished. Community health workers who identify illness in the camps and dispatch medicine, gone. This NGO director gets the dire news from one of the refugees who's been at the camp for years. 24,000 people have lost access to those essential health workers, going door to door, giving medical treatment, and arranging ambulance trips after just one aid program was forced to shut down.
All activity suddenly stopped.
Suddenly, on the 26th of January.
26th.
Right after word came of Trump's funding freeze, a devastating blow for so many. Like Rashida, 8 months pregnant and struggling, trying to take care of her baby girl and her own health. She has no idea what she'll do when she goes into labor. The young mother will have to make her own way to a hospital far from her cramped tent. I'm worried, she tells me. They used to come see us with medicine and proper care. How will I get to the hospital now? The aid freeze has also hit 13-year-old Muhammad Khan. He can't walk because of a rare degenerative disease that has damaged his nerves. He needs his medicine, pills that ease his pain and make him a little more mobile for a disease that has no cure, his mother Yasmin said. But for 10 days, his treatment stopped. They told us not to come to the clinic, she says. My son was confined to his bed.
Many of the NGOs operating here don't want to talk about how the Trump administration has frozen humanitarian aid abroad. There's fear mixed with uncertainty that it could get much worse for these refugees, heavily dependent on American funding, which makes up more than half of all the aid money spent here.
There was the initial shock. Now try to, absorb the shock.
But the head of the Bangladesh government agency handling Rohingya refugees says it's not just the U.S. The whole world is distracted by other crises. And overall funding from all donors earmarked for the Rohingya, stateless and vulnerable, keeps dropping every year.
Hopefully, the countries like USA and other countries, they will not forget the Rohingya crisis.
All he can do is hope that the U.S. will change its mind and reinstate the funds so desperately needed for a humanitarian crisis that many here feel the world has already forgotten. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh.